Let me introduce myself. My name is Al Novanek, aka Big Al. I'm running for United States Congressman of the 3rd District, North Carolina. A little bit about myself. I retired from the Marine Corps as a first sergeant. I'm finishing up my 4th master's degree, and I'm also presently enrolled and working on my PhD in public administration. This video is about welfare and the cost of welfare to the United States government. We pay out in excess of $1 trillion a year in welfare. When you hear welfare, you think generally of family welfare. There's two parts to the welfare system. One is family welfare, which we pay out for support of families, and then we also have the second part is corporate welfare. Not something we necessarily give corporations, but what we don't take from them in taxes. A lot of corporations don't pay taxes, and then of course there's a lot of tax loopholes that they get away with other things too. Now, in one of my master's degree programs, I did my thesis on welfare, the cost of welfare, and how to fix welfare, okay? So that'll be attached to this video. Now, basically, in 1996, welfare used to be run by the federal government. In 1996, President Clinton had Congress give the authority and power for welfare to the states. $1 trillion a year is the cost of welfare. And I've put up a small chart on the board. $800 billion actually comes from the federal government, which is your federal taxes. $200 billion comes from the states, okay? So they make up a little bit of what the federal government doesn't pay out. Now, this is the number one state with the most welfare, okay, California. So basically, California has 12% of the people in the United States. They have about 38 million people in California, so they're 12% of the population of the United States. But they get 33% of the welfare money, total money, that comes from the states and the federal government. So basically, you see 33% California, the other 49 states get 67%. If the states are responsible for welfare, why does the government, federal government, get $800 billion? And to go even further into that, remember that's your taxes. So if they only have 12% of the people and 33% of welfare goes to California, then why, in essence, does federal taxes from North Carolina residents, because that $800 billion is from federal, support welfare recipients in California? We need to change this. Welfare, the amount of welfare that a family gets or an individual gets in that state is rated by the state. And you'll see this in my thesis. So if that state wants to give more money to their welfare recipients, then that state should be responsible for it and not federal taxes. Because as I stated, federal taxes are from all of us around the United States. So they're using some of your federal taxes from North Carolina citizens for welfare recipients in California. We need to cut the cost of welfare from $1 trillion. And you'll see in my thesis where I have a plan on how to do that. We can cut down the cost from total welfare to at least half of that, so $500 billion for family welfare. And then we can make up the difference there, or offset that $500 billion, which is $500 billion, by collecting what is owed by the corporations that are not paying now. So in reality, we could get rid of the whole $1 trillion debt of welfare, because the corporate welfare would actually pay, if they paid their fair share, would pay the family welfare. That's $1 trillion a year we can save the United States government. So there's $17 trillion in national debt right now. So by enacting what I have on my thesis, realistically, in less than 20 years, we could drop the national debt to zero. So I hope you like my video. I hope you read my thesis, which goes in, of course, more depth. And remember, vote for Big Al.